I know they do, yeah. It's been the winter yeah, we say we're not going to go down and then after the month to a winter, yeah. No, I wasn't joking.
There's a chair here. If you want a nice soft chair.
Yeah, they are.
Good morning, Jim. How are you? Any day, all day, all day.
Pretty fresh haircut though, John.
That's
you.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, folks. It's time for public comments. Please keep your comments limited to 5 minutes, please, per person. Let's start with pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Good morning. I am Richard Arp, 4th generation crop and livestock farmer near Kuchia. I'm speaking today on behalf of Tama County Against Turbines. Iowa Code 331.301 under General Powers and Limitations says, a county may except as expressly limited by the Constitution of the State of Iowa, if not inconsistent with the laws of the General Assembly, exercise any power and perform any function it deems appropriate to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and property of the county, of its residents, and to preserve and improve the peace, safety, health, welfare, comfort, and convenience of its residents. Under Iowa law, Tama County can update its commercial wind energy ordinance at any time to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and property of the county or its residents, and to preserve and to improve the public health and public safety and comfort of its residents. As supervisors, excuse me, it's your job to protect the public health and safety of all Tama County residents and to protect everyone's property rights. It is not your responsibility to protect the alleged investment claims of wind project developers. Your responsibility is to protect the health and safety of all the people who live in Tama not those who seek to exploit our irreplaceable farmland and our public health and public safety for their own financial gain. Today's agenda lists your plans to name your insurance attorney, Carlton Sammons, to represent the Board of Adjustment in a separate lawsuit filed by Tama County taxpayer Heather Neville over their lack of authority under Iowa Code 335.2 to issue conditional use permits to permit industrial wind projects on Tama County farmland, while it is still so used for agricultural use. Carlton Sammons represents you in the lawsuit I filed against you for your unlawful reapproval of the commercial wind energy ordinance May 16th without holding required public hearings. From an ethical standpoint, do you really believe that Carlton or anyone in the Polk County law firm he's part of can represent the County Board of Adjustment in the lawsuit filed by Heather Neville, since he's already representing you as supervisors in a separate case I filed against you? Isn't that a potential conflict of interest? Have you consulted attorney Brent Herron for his opinion on that potential conflict of interest? And if not, why not? Larry, in prior public meetings and again on August 29th, you speculated that if Tama County were to change its commercial wind energy ordinance, the county would be sued by Salt Creek. For what?
I explained that, but I'm running supervisor attorney again and have no comment.
Okay. They haven't constructed a single turbine, they haven't generated any electricity, so they have no earnings. Anything they claim to have invested is a risk they knowingly took. Threatening lawsuits is a common bullying tactic of wind developers. Don't fall for it. Their goal is to keep Tama County's minimal, outdated ordinances unchanged so that they can prey on our people and our farmland to maximize their potential profits. The fact is, wind and solar or other zoning ordinances can be changed at any time. That's the law. Tama County's commercial wind ordinance hasn't changed at all since 2010, and nothing of substance has changed in it since 1998. So much has changed in turbine size, height, speed, noise, infrastructure, and shadow flicker since then. Today's monstrous turbines present greater potential public health and safety risks than those of 12 or 24 years ago. It's important that you understand and correctly convey the facts. Some of you have made incorrect references to Keene, Madison County, as they too were bullied by wind developers. In late 2020, Madison County Supervisors passed an ordinance that prohibited wind turbines within 1.5 miles of non-participating landowners, limiting the height of wind turbines to no more than 500 feet. That's 50 stories tall. They also implemented strict noise limits. The 1.5 mile setback followed a Madison County Board of Health recommendation that noted the potential of negative health effects associated with commercial wind turbines. The fact is, although Mid-American Energy sued Madison County on January 20th of 21, after it updated its commercial wind ordinances, the county paid no damages. Mid-America did not seek monetary damages from Madison County. Let me repeat, Mid-America Energy did not seek financial damages from the county. The fact is, Madison County paid no damages. In fact, Madison County updated its ordinances and gave Mid-America permission to proceed with a potential future phase of the Arbor Hill project under the prior ordinances. However, Mid-American announced in late July of this year that it was canceling the proposed 30-turbine Arbor Hill project in Madison County because it was no longer viable. The more that Madison County landowners learned about the potential risks of industrial wind projects, many more landowners sought to be let out of their wind easements. So let me reassure you, Tama County can proceed with what more than 1,000 petitioners are asking, to update the county's outdated commercial wind energy ordinance. Tama County Zoning Board can and should proceed with undertaking a comprehensive update to Tama County's commercial wind ordinance to better protect their public health, public safety, and property rights of everyone in the county. There is no reason they can't proceed with that process, nor should your attorney, Carlton Sammons, be attempting to stifle that process. We are encouraging and grateful to see the citizens serving on the zoning board take action, starting with their public meeting in this room tonight at 6:30 to start the process of updating the commercial wind energy ordinance. With industrial solar developers also preying on Tama County, seeking to take even more prime farmland out of production, we're also encouraged to see the zoning board also to begin the process of updating Tama County's industrial solar ordinance to better protect everyone and our highly productive farmland in Tama County. The citizens serving on the zoning commission are to be commended for taking the initiative to begin the process to update the commercial wind and solar ordinances at the request of people from Tama County. The zoning board's work will help better protect all residents, whether they have or have not signed an easement for a potential commercial wind or solar project. As we've stated each week since April 25th, our coalition stands ready to partner with the county, working with the zoning commission to help inform what taxpayers seek in more comprehensive county wind and solar ordinances to better protect public health, public safety, and highly productive farmland for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. John, you have any comments? Anybody else have any comments?
I do. Do you know if Craig Sash has accepted your reappointment?
I think he did, didn't he?
What's that? Craig Sash, did he accept the reappointment? Yeah, I believe he did.
Okay, well, were you aware of Iowa Code 69.16A? All appointed boards, commissions, committees, and councils established by the code, if not otherwise provided by law, shall be gender balanced. No person shall be appointed or reappointed to any board, commission, committee, or council established by the code if that appointment or reappointment would cause the number of members of the board, commission, committee, or council of one gender to be greater than 1/2 the membership of the board, commission, committee, or council, plus 1. If the board, commission, committee, or council is composed of an even number of members, not more than 1/2 of the membership shall be of one gender. So he really should not have been asked to be reappointed because there were already 3 people, 3 males on that committee. Had you considered that before you asked his reappointment?
No, he had served before and he was willing to do it again.
I know, but it says you are not to reappoint someone if the number is greater than 1/2. So you weren't supposed to ask him, you weren't supposed to offer that reappointment because it wasn't gender balanced.
We accepted it. Yeah.
What did you say, Larry?
I have no comment.
Oh, well, what did you say before?
What's that?
What did you say before you said no comment? Didn't hear that.
I said we have no comment.
But were you aware of this rule and appointments about gender balance?
I have no other comments.
I didn't say nothing.
You shook your head
I
yes.
thought you said he was reappointed.
You shook your head yes, you were aware of it.
Did I? Have no comment.
Do you intend to comply with the law that requires gender balance on the appointments that you make to boards and commissions?
Again, no comment.
Why can't you comment on whether you will or will not comply with Iowa law that requires gender balance on the boards and the commissions?
Because it's.
And you have all males on the zoning board, no females. That doesn't comply with the Iowa law requirement for gender balance. You had an opening with Craig Sash's term expiring June 30th. That was an opportunity to do right and finally comply with Iowa law by appointing a woman to the zoning commission. So the question is, has Craig Sash accepted that reappointment? Yes or no?
I believe it has that before.
Yes. And that is coming into question then because there is no gender balance as required by Iowa law on the zoning commission. Do you intend to comply with the law that requires gender balance on your appointments to boards and commissions?
I intend to follow our attorney's order to have no comment.
Is your attorney telling you to ignore Iowa laws that require gender balance?
I have no comment.
So let's talk about the job description that was so gracefully posted. Thank you for putting that in the Tama Toledo Chronicle. We'd like to understand who developed that job description for the zoning commission. Could you speak to that?
I don't know.
I can, so I mostly read Iowa law, lots of it, and also referred to a bunch of different counties in the area around. I wanted to keep it as professional as possible, along with making sure that requirements that are needed, whether recommended requirements, do reflect best for Forsyth County. While I am not a resident here, I do want you to have someone that is knowledgeable and can help out a lot here. So I hope that I did enough research that you guys have a good job description, so yeah.
Thank you for doing that and for taking the initiative, because I understand you as supervisors did not want to advertise or put information out about how citizens could apply for the opening on the zoning commission that follows the resignation of Chair Russell Peterson. And my question is, based on that job description, did Craig Sash meet those requirements on your most recent appointment? Or did you review his requirements?
I have no comment. I have no comment.
Why do you continue to sit in that seat and draw a paycheck every week when all you can say is no comment, Larry?
No comment.
How can you live with yourself when your obligation is to elect the voters that you have been elected to serve, and you sit there and say nothing but no comment, even on questions that have nothing to do with litigation, but do deal with Iowa law and your responsibility as an elected public official to comply with Iowa law?
And again, no comment.
What
What are you
has,
going-
what has your attorney told you not to comment on? What?
I can't comment on that either.
What can you comment on?
Why are you here then?
Because the citizens of Tama County in my district, you may say at this point mistakenly, but have elected me for 27 consecutive terms.
And do you think you're doing right by the citizens sitting there and saying no comment? And how can you take a paycheck from the taxpayers when all you do is sit there and say no comment?
Do you think we elected you to do this, Larry? You're badly mistaken. If this is the best you can do, why don't you just resign? Number two thing, why was Craig Sash even considered when he has an easement for a turbine? Why would he even be considered for reappointment?
You guys were so concerned about finding somebody that was unbiased and not pro one turbine or against when we were turning in applications for the zoning board, but yet we reappointed somebody that is obviously pro-wind.
I don't intend to answer your question, but you also, I would ask you, do you know if he's gonna sit on this board when they make the decisions?
I don't know.
Bill did.
Bill did what?
Bill sat here as a supervisor, and we said he had a conflict of interest, and he told everybody here he had no conflict of interest. Until you got Salt Creek to get him out.
And that still represents a conflict of interest because he had an easement and had a relationship with Salt Creek.
Seems to me, again, there's a double standard here in Tama County.
Seems to me that attorneys have a difference of opinion as well.
Yes, they do. And the public has a difference of opinion with you, Larry, because the public believes that the people that are elected and privileged to sit in those seats deserve to respond to the public and are expected to do that and not hide behind no comment. So here's a question. Maybe you can answer this. When are you going to get microphones in this meeting room so that everybody can hear?
Working on it.
What does working on it mean?
Working on it.
What does working on it mean? When? No comment on microphones?
You get brought in on one comment, and you had 10 more, so no comments.
I can't hear, what did you say again?
I said, if you get called in on one comment, on subsequent question, you're gonna have 10 more comments, or answers.
You know, it's time that you stop playing the victim and you start stepping up and acting like a man and respond to the questions that people ask you. For example, when are you going to start live streaming public meetings? We've given you example. Benton County was able to stand up a YouTube channel. They bought a camera, they bought an iPad for a few $100s. They are providing a public service to their citizens by live streaming their meetings. We've asked you to do that again and again and again. What's the status of live streaming all Tama County public meetings?
Do you guys even discuss it? I mean, are you moving forward with anything, or you just say no comment and then nothing happens? I mean, seriously, these people deserve microphones for $200. If I need to donate it, I will, but it's ridiculous that we've gone weeks and weeks and weeks, and you can't accomplish that? I mean, what are you guys doing? Come on. It's not hard. I can go on Amazon, I can have microphones here in 3 days. It doesn't take that long to make a decision for these people who are hardworking and maybe are hard of hearing due to their hard work, and you can't even accommodate that? I mean, what are you guys doing? I mean, what do? You show up for 1 hour every week, collect your paycheck, and nothing happens? It's not that difficult, guys. It's like you don't care. Instead of no comment, you should say, I don't care. Because that's really how we all feel as citizens, is that you really don't give a crap about any of us who sit here every week and just nicely ask to get microphones. Get a laptop. You've got grants for all this stuff. Come on. We'll all pitch in.
How much money is left in that federal money that was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we heard all the department heads got a wish list covered. Is there some money left in that could go towards cameras and video equipment?
That's the American Rescue Fund Act.
Is there money left in it, Laura?
I believe there is. I don't have the total right off the top of my head right here, right now.
Okay.
Can we have a wish list and be maybe put on that list?
Yeah, we've requested you previously multiple times to take official action to go on record as pursuing the opportunity to live stream public meetings. Technology is much more economical today. Public jurisdictions all across the country, counties large and small, city governments are live streaming their meetings. You would have better public input, you'd have better public transparency if you would please make the effort to live stream these meetings. And technology is not anything to be afraid of. It's pretty easy to live stream meetings today. And we've said, as we said before, we'd be happy to put you in touch with the folks at Benton County that do that. It's not overly complicated and it's not overly intimidating. It can be easily done. And we're asking you again to please do that. We've asked you multiple times to please put that on your agenda and to pass a resolution that you are considering in order to pursuing that. And especially if there's money that's remaining in the American Rescue Fund Act, why not use that technology to have better communication with your taxpayers? Because the public has a right to know and wants to know about the decisions you are making and how you are choosing to spend their tax dollars. So we please ask you to invest in microphones and invest in live streaming these meetings and then archiving them online permanently on the county website. So thank you for your consideration of that. Because we're coming up on winter, and according to the Old Farmer's Almanac, it's supposed to be a rough winter. It might start with a lot of snow in December. So if we could please make the effort to do that, it would help with your engagement with the public.
You know, you guys were given this privilege to represent your constituents. Do you feel you have done that? That's what I thought. Because this is not representation. Your constituents did not vote for you to give you this privilege to sit there, to cash your paycheck, and then return no comment to us. Disrespectful? I'm sure there's something in the job description about representation to your constituents, to your district. You have not even come close. We haven't seen anything. Yet you cashed the check.
Aaron, do you have a comment?
I do. It seems that we've all learned an awful lot in the last 6 months that maybe part of you already knew. I'm feeling that Larry knew quite a bit about this before March. I also believe that the dignitaries in this county and the state of Iowa are under a massive gag order that is endangering the whole United States, but right now we're talking about Iowa. And we, no matter race, religion, creed, we are all going to suffer tremendous effects. You guys have learned that from our research. What is going to happen with these electric solar farms that kill everything over and under them by the hundreds of thousands of acres, and the turbines that are drawing out everything by the hundreds of thousands of acres. I asked you guys a couple of weeks ago what we're going to eat, breathe, and drink, and that remains my question every day as I'm walking around my farm, doing hours of chores and everything else that goes with living in the country. And I am so convinced that we are all victims of a massive organization, and it would be so helpful for all of you and the other authorities in just, let's just say, Tama County, to just say, you know what, we can't talk, we're under order by this huge company, and then tell the company. You know, we all think it's China because they make everything. They make the solar panels, the turbine blades, everything. So it would really let you guys off the hook if you could just say, you know what, we don't want to get sued by China or Warren Buffett. And that's really what it's coming down to. Because the people that signed for this stuff are victims. You guys are victims because you're under a gag order. The ones that signed don't even know what they signed. And we are going to have to pay the consequences for trying to hold on, being good stewards as God commanded us to be. And that's where all of us stand. We know who created the earth. And we know that it is our job to protect it so that everybody in this room and our families and everybody in this county can eat, drink, and breathe. Thank you.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to add, my name is Jackie Snyder, first generation. I say that because
7 years ago and raise our boys in this, so they'll be second generation. We're not big farmers, we just own an acreage. I imagine many of us here have a belief system and have knowledge of God and belief. And there is higher entities out there that control and run much of the world and many of the nations. But there's also individuals. God has made us individuals to run locally, regionally. And the higher entities are trying to take that away and control that. We have a group of individuals here that see the destruction of what these higher entities are doing in these corporations and businesses, and they're willing to stand up for what's right. And you guys are in positions of local governments to help on the local level. For us individuals, we are relying and depending on you guys. And we ask you, if you would band and trust your local citizens, we will back you, and we will fight with you, beside you, against them. You have to trust us, and I'm assuming you each have a conscience. They're in the Bible. In 1 Timothy chapter 4, talks about a great apostasy. And if you guys have gone to church, you know this. And it says, now the Spirit expressingly says that in latter times, we are in the latter times, some will depart from the faith, giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons. Verse 2 says, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their own conscience seared with a hot iron. Has your position of leadership over all these years seared your conscience? These are just questions I want you to ask yourself. When you're alone, shut everything off and listen. Because that's how we can hear God speak, is in the quietness. We are here to help. We will band together and help, but we need your leadership. Just ask yourself this. God, has my conscience been seared to the truth, to righteousness? Or am I going along for power, money, from men? I pray for you guys. I do.
Thank you all for your comments. It's 9:30. It's called meeting to order. Is it a motion to approve last week's minutes? So moved. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Then open the door and ask Lyle to come in.
Yeah, good.
Morning, Lyle.
So, report on what's going on in the right now. We've got, the contractor still working down on Key Avenue, down by the droppers. They've got it's gonna be a 3-span bridge. The south abutment and the 2 piers are done. They're working on the north abutment right now. They're driving piles, and then they'll have to form concrete up. It's progressing. Over on T47, we've got we've resurfaced T47. They started putting down the shoulder rock. The shoulder rock they're putting down is actually gonna be asphalt millings. They're gonna put it down in 2 layers. We've got them doing that so they can compact it a little bit better. That should turn out much better doing that, so.
So the millings will, after being compacted, that you're done with the shouldering there?
Correct.
Okay, there's no further treatment to it?
Correct.
That thing's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. It doesn't
Better
wash the
gravel.
same way. Yeah, it does. It should be, it's the contractor's choice on what they do, and we're not paying extra to do it. Their choice was to use asphalt millings instead of normal rock. They're only required to use normal rock. I think what's going on is they've got asphalt millings practically coming out the ears right now, and it works out better for them to do it.
And it sounds like we have just a good or better product.
Yes, and we will have, I'd say, a better product out of it. The other item I got is, for Highway 63 is being resurfaced up north of Traer right now. And the road closure up there is gonna cause people to travel on some of the rock roads up in that area. We're in the process of getting dust control put down in front of intersections and houses along Key Avenue, which starts in Traer and goes north, and doing that all the way up to the county line. We're also in the process of doing it on our avenue from D65 going north. On the east side of 63. So we're doing a route on the east side, farther up north, and we're doing the west side from Traer going north. An item I have on the agenda for you is a resolution to establish a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit on P Avenue from Traer up to the Blackhawk County line. And this, again, this is similar to what we did with QQ Avenue. The idea is to establish a speed limit. It gives the sheriff's office something, the ability to enforce something to keep speeds down. People tend to drive a little bit faster than they should on rock oftentimes anyhow, with the additional traffic that's gonna be on it. It's going to, there'll be more dust. 35-mile-an-hour, establishing 35-mile-an-hour speed limit will dramatically improve, cut down on dust, as well as reduce the speed of people, which is a general safety improvement. And again, I'm asking to have this in place during the construction phase. When Highway 63 opens up again, we'll go up and we'll move our signs. That's how the resolution I've presented you is worded.
And I will point out that it does not cover our avenue.
It does not, no, I did not include that. I don't know.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't know how much extra traffic we're gonna have on our avenue. The DOT asked us if we wanted to put down dust control on our avenue. Yes, I think that's included. Blackhawk County is putting down dust control on our avenue. Not on our avenue, but on the road that's the extension of our avenue, and also the extension of the avenue.
I did receive a comment from a Dave Stewart on P Avenue, and he said he would appreciate, he said he thinks people are going at really high speeds. If there's a lot more traffic, he would appreciate the speed limit being set.
In general, speed limits are on the rock roads. The sheriff's office has it's not like they're staffed to the level where they can patrol every rock road on a regular basis. However, a temporary, specific route like this, I think it's very cool. It gives them the ability, something that they can't enforce.
Okay, do we have anything else on that lot?
No.
We had a start date, which would be today, but there's no clause in there talking about after completion of the Highway 63, or am I missing it?
There's no end date on it.
It therefore be it resolved that the speed limit is established effective immediately and terminating upon the reopening of US 63 from Traer to Hudson.
Okay,
Therefore be it resolved. And Laura will, I'm sure, read out the ordinance of heavy.
Anybody else have any comments? Or read it?
I have just a question, but it has nothing to do with this.
Oh, okay, okay.
Do you want me to say it?
No, we'll do this and then we'll go to that, is that okay?
Yeah.
I've numbered it Resolution 912-2022A, a a resolution for establishing a speed limit. Whereas the Board of Supervisors is empowered under authority of Iowa Code Sections 321.255 and 321.285 to determine the speed limit of any secondary road is greater than is reasonable and proper under the conditions existing, and may determine and declare a reasonable and proper speed limit. And whereas the current closure of US 63 from Traer to Hudson has caused increased traffic on P Avenue in this area, therefore be it resolved that the speed limit is established effective immediately and terminating upon the reopening of US 63 from Traer to Hudson. An appropriate sign shall be erected at the location described as follows: 35 miles per hour on P Avenue, commencing at the Traer corporate limits and proceeding north to the Blackhawk County line.
Okay, thank you, Laura.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve speed limit resolution for P Avenue?
I move to approve.
Okay, I'll second. Okay, Laura?
Okay, roll call vote. Larry?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye. Anything else?
Not from me, but somebody else.
Yeah, go ahead. I have a question.
On, 310th Street and N Avenue, he just redid that N Avenue.
Yes.
So on Saturday, there was a semi that was trying to turn and go east. He was on the right side of the road.
He came down N Avenue,
He was coming south.
southbound on N
Yeah,
Avenue,
he
came
was
up.
trying to
300.
turn right,
Okay, trying to turn right.
or west, excuse me, I said
West.
west, yeah.
Same thing.
Okay, and he couldn't do it, so he had to back up about, I don't know, a third of a mile, a quarter of a mile, and then he had to get realigned and go clear to the left side of the road. And he was trying to make the turn to go to the right again. He
Okay.
still couldn't do it. It took him about 20 minutes to make that turn. And he finally had to, he went up, and he was hanging off of our ditch on the south side of the road.
You're on the south side.
And he was backing up, and he had wheels hanging off on the east side of the road on N Avenue, and he finally got her done. But
It's a livestock trailer, wasn't
it
it?
was a livestock truck. So is that a longer trailer than a normal semi?
They're pretty long. I don't know.
53 foot's max.
What is it?
53 feet is max unless you're oversized.
But, you know, you upgraded the road there at the end, right where we live.
Right.
And so, if anybody was gonna turn, nobody could turn.
Of course.
And they were just waiting, but it was
It's
a
a
long
process.
time. The dog was really upset.
That'd be Larry.
Named after you, Larry. Anyway, I just wanted to maybe, I don't know if it needs to be wider right there or what.
For the
There are
sake
a lot of
of,
semis, you know, with walkers being right there and that.
Huskies and Wakas and.
for the sake of the dog, we'll review the,
I just want, it didn't affect me, I just was thinking, oh, this guy is going in the ditch, I just know he's gonna go down in that.
that'd be bad with kind of one too.
And that's, really deep now, cause I think you upgraded it like 6 feet or 8 feet or something like that.
Right at the intersection, it's not, right at the intersection, it's not a lot higher, but it gets higher as you go further to the,
Yeah.
to the north,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, anyway.
I was traveling on M yesterday, near death situation yesterday, M between, 180th and Ridge Road. So you upgraded, you know what I'm talking about, you
Yes.
dug out the ditches.
Yes.
That's scary. When somebody hits you there, that's 6 foot drop. I had nowhere to go. Somebody came over Ridge Road and you've got those ditches dug out.
Okay, so you're talking about right up closer to the intersection
where you come down the hill, so you come off the ridge, heading south, and literally, it's 6 foot, there is no gradual going into the
No,
ditch.
there's not.
There is nothing, there's 6 foot, there's no shoulder, there's nothing. They come flying over Ridge Road, yeah, I had nowhere to go. I mean, I literally had to stop, and then now it's washboarded. So that person sees me, starts to slow down, well then they're fishtailing, it's not very wide, that's pretty scary. I mean, that is.
It's about 26 feet wide. We tried to make a landing pad up there. Prior to this is, you come up to the stop sign and have
You're at
pretty.
the angle, yep.
And I don't think anybody was stopping ever.
No, I mean.
we've made a landing pad now that people can crawl up and stop, but when you do that, it's the same thing we did over on the
Yeah, right.
and 310.
Yeah.
You have a place now where you can stop, it does
Yeah.
make it deeper, it does.
Yeah, it's deep, it's really deep and scary right there, so just, and now there's a lot of new gravel.
Yes,
So
yes,
there's a lot of new gravel on there,
yes.
which makes it for, you know, it's just pretty dicey right
It'll
there.
be soft for a bit.
And where did the dirt go?
On the road.
Oh, so everything you dug out of the ditch,
Yeah.
you use that to build the road? Cause normally, like, so we rent the farm right there, so normally you'll
Okay.
get, last time you did it, we owned the farm there, so we got the dirt.
Okay.
Cause about, 10 years ago, you dug those ditches out again, way back when, so,
Sure,
so
but-
you use that dirt to
Yes.
build up the road.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
where we got the dirt from.
Okay, alright.
Good, anything else, Lon?
Your other question? I don't have anything else for you guys, unless you have something else for you.
No, I don't. Larry, you have anything for Lon? No. Okay.
Very good.
Thanks,
Thank
Lon.
you.
Thanks, Lon.
Is Tammy here?
Nope.
Where'd she go?
Nope. I have, I just have health partners, so, the service agreement is for the administrative services. This is for the medical, the dental, the network. So you're gonna sign this year, correct? Yeah, so these are the service agreements that go with the plan that we're already doing, but we don't have the service agreements done
We've
yet.
already passed there on the.
Yes.
All the motions, now
It's just signing, so, oh, that's me. It is, well, cause you know how I am, I gotta check everything out.
That's all right.
So, let's see. This right here goes with this one. Twelve. Mm-hmm. Okay. That one. This one. Oh, yeah. That's for you.
Plan sponsor?
Yep, you're gonna sign it. Okay.
Bizzle?
Yep. Oh, these are yours, sorry. Take your papers.
Yeah, don't do that. Is that your thing?
Thank you. Oh,
You don't need a motion?
Have all of them.
On anything?
nope, I got them all.
You don't take care of?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Have anything else, Tammy?
No,
All right, is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion carried. Good morning, how you doing?
I'm good. The rain care was great yesterday and Saturday.
Good.
Got a little sunburn yesterday. And yes, I was out in the rain.
You didn't know, though.
I had a 3 foot by 2 foot hat, so I was
Yeah.
fine.
Glad to have you here today. All right, set the time and date of the first and second tier of canvas for the special election.
okay, as we talked about before, we have 2 special elections tomorrow, Liebert, Rhinebeck, and Denison. And because they're in 2 counties, there's a first tier, like the county where the election is held, and then you forward those results to the official county, the county that is in control of it, and that's your second tier.
Okay.
So we need to set 2 dates for you guys to do that canvas. It's set by Iowa Code, and Karen's here, so I'll let her tell you the dates, cause I don't.
So the first one will need to be the Monday after the election tomorrow, so that would be the 19th, okay? And then the second tier is the Monday following that, which would be the 26th.
Okay.
It won't take you very long since it's just the 3 precincts that we have. So what would work best for you? Do you wanna do it before your meeting, or do you wanna do it after your meetings?
8 o'clock worked best for me.
I'm good with 8 o'clock.
Larry? 8 o'clock, all right? Is that okay for
That would
you?
be fine with me, yep,
Let's do
for
it.
both of them, yep.
8 o'clock both Mondays then?
Yeah.
Yes.
19, 10, 26.
Yep, so then we just need a motion and a
I
second then.
would move to approve those. And dates for the.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Okay, appoint Carlton Settlements attorney to represent Tama County with Heather Cable lawsuit.
I'll make a motion to it.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Laura, anything else?
I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have anything else or any other comments?
You can put me down for next week.
I'll put you down next week, Jim.
Okay.
Look forward to seeing you.
I got something to say.
Unless I see you in the grocery store, then you can tell me there too.
We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and adjourn you at 9:30.